grade math lesson. Today, we're going to do some problem solving with money. So that is the title of our lesson. And if you look across the top, you see the dollar bills, the bills that we've already introduced, and the coins. We have the $5 bill, the $1 bill, our half dollar, our quarter, our dime, our nickel, and our penny. And there you see the value up at the top. I'm not going to go over that today because I've gone over it several times. So by now, I really hope that you know the value of all the coins. And if not, feel free to stop the recording so that you could see the value a bit closer. Okay, so like I said, we are gonna do problem solving with money. And our objective, boys and girls, is that students will use any strategy to solve word problems. So any strategy means that you can solve the problem in any way that you know how to do it. Maybe you've been taught many ways to solve problems, but there might be certain ways that you feel more comfortable with, that you're really good at. So that would be perfectly fine for you to use that strategy today. And word problems are just what that says, word problems. They're problems that are in a written form. You have to figure out exactly what is it that they're asking me and what is it do they tell me or do I know from reading the problem. So we're going to go over this together and then we're going to solve it. Now, one thing I'd have to say about word problems and word problems that have to do with money is that it's really useful to get, or great to get lots of practice with them, because this is something that you're going to use your entire life. You're always going to add up money and try and figure out if you have enough to buy something, or maybe sometimes you're adding up money, you're buying something and you want to know how much change you should be given back. So it's always great to be very up to date and up to all the lessons that I've taught you with money so that you know what you're doing and you don't make any mistakes when purchasing things on your own. So let's go ahead and look at this problem. So it says Gary has a $1 bill, 3 quarters, 1 dime, 1 nickel, and 1 penny. Does he have enough to buy this toy? And then it says, show me how you solve this problem. Now maybe you're thinking, what toy? What toy is Gary gonna buy? Well, this is the toy that Gary wants to buy. Good old Slinky. And Gary is at a yard sale because I see that he costs, how much is that, boys and girls? $1.90. So he wants to know if he has $1.90 to buy Slinky. So I'm going to go ahead and write $1.90 up here just so I don't forget how much the toy cost. So $1.90 for Slinky. That's how much he needs. Now, let's go back and look at the problem. So, I'm going to reread it again. Gary has a $1 bill, 3 quarters, 1 dime, 1 nickel, and 1 penny. Does he have enough to buy this toy? And show how you solve this problem. So, what is our question, boys and girls? What are they asking us? Okay, a big clue is the question mark. So this is what they're asking us. They're saying, does he have enough to buy this toy? So I am going to circle the question. So I don't forget what exactly I'm trying to do here by solving this problem. This is what I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out, does Gary have enough money to buy this toy? And we know that the toy is the Slinky, and it costs $1.90. So let's go back and see how much money Gary actually has. So Gary has a $1 bill. So I'm going to underline that. He has 3 quarters. He has 1 dime. 1 nickel, and 1 penny. Okay, so that's the money he has. $1 bill, 3/4, 1 dime, 1 nickel, and 1 penny. And I'm trying to figure out how much money Gary has. And then I'm going to ask myself, is that enough money to buy Slinky? So let's hope that Gary has enough for it. Okay, so I think I'm going to start adding my money. And I'm going to do it the way that I taught you guys. So let me just get down here. Okay. So first I'm going to write down how much money he has. He has $1. He has 3/4. So 1, 2, 3/4. And I'm going to go ahead and write that in right away because I don't want to forget. So we wrote this, we wrote that. He has 1 dime. Oops, my mistake, guys. $1 nickel. Oh goodness, wrote it in the wrong color. And 1 penny. So let me just go back and fix this so I don't confuse you with the different color. Please excuse the messiness. Okay, so this is the money Gary has. He has the $1 bill, 3/4, 1 dime, 1 nickel, and 1 penny. Let's see if he has enough. Let's start adding our coins. So there's 3/4, and we've talked about that. How much is 3/4 worth? 75 cents. You are right. And now we're going to add our dime to the 75 cents. So we're going to count by 10. 75 plus 10 is 85 cents. Plus 5 cents, 90 cents. And plus 1, 91 cents. So don't forget, he also has the $1 bill. So it's $1 bill plus the 0.90. And I'm writing it that way. It's just a different way of writing it because I don't want you to get confused with seeing me write the 2 symbols. So there's different ways of adding this. I could line up my decimals and add it that way. And we know we're talking about money. So 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 9 is 9. And 1 plus 0 is 1. So this is how much money he has. And I think I made a mistake, guys. I forgot to add my penny. My mistake. I can go ahead and just add it here because sometimes we make mistakes when we are doing math. So he has $1.91. So that is his total. $1.91. And if you recall, this is the price of Slinky. Slinky costs $1.90. So does he have enough to buy Slinky? Yes, he does. He has $1.91. So yes, he can buy Slinky. And he's also going to have some money left over. If it costs $1.90 and he has $1.91, how much will he have left? He will have 1 cent left. So lucky Gary, it is his lucky day. He gets to purchase Slinky for $1.90. Now the problem said to show me how you solved it, how you solved this problem. And I showed all my work. I showed how I added. I even made that one little mistake by not adding the last cent, but it's okay. I went and added it at the end, and everything worked out. What I'd like for you to do when you practice your own in your journal is to make sure that you are circling the question so you know exactly what the problem is asking you to do. And that you underline what you know about Gary. This is what I knew about Gary. I knew that he had $1 bill, 3/4, 1 dime, 1 nickel, and 1 penny. So I underlined that. And then I just went back to adding the money the way that I've taught you in the past lessons. So not too difficult, but this is really great for you to practice these types of problems because these are what we call real world problems. You're always gonna be in situations when you're trying to buy something and you want to know if you have enough money. So you always have to get really good with some type of strategy so you know how to solve these. So now I'm going to turn this paper over, and there is another problem in the back that you will be working out. So this problem, let's read it together. So read it with me. It says Betty has a $1 bill, 7 nickels, and 3 pennies. Does she have enough to buy a stuffed animal? Show me how you solve this problem. So this is pretty much like the one we just completed, but it's a different person and they have a different amount of money and they want to buy a stuffed animal. So here's our stuffed animal and look how cute it is. It says, I love you. And look at the price. It costs $1.65. So let's hope that Betty has enough money to buy this stuffed animal because this little stuffed animal looks like he really wants somebody to love it. So $1.65. So I'm going to write the price of the stuffed animal up there so that I don't forget. So $1.65 for the teddy bear. Okay, so that's the price tag of the teddy bear. So that's how much she needs. Now, you're going to solve it, but we're going to look at this together and do the underlining together, and then you will complete it in your notebook. So once again, Betty has a $1 bill, 7 nickels, and 3 pennies. Does she have enough to buy a stuffed animal? Show me how you solve this problem. Now remember, when we're asking ourselves or we're trying to figure out what is this problem asking me? Well, we all know that questions have question marks. So look for that question mark, and that's where you will find your question. So I'm going to underline that or circle that question. Does she have enough to buy the stuffed animal? And remember, the stuffed animal is the cute little teddy bear for $1.65. Now, let's go back and see how much money Betty has. So she has, well, I guess I'll use this different color marker. She has a $1 bill. She has 7 nickels. And she has 3 pennies. So Betty has a $1 bill, 7 nickels, and 3 pennies. Does she have enough to buy a stuffed animal? Now, I'm not going to complete the rest for you. I would like you to complete it. So you could solve it any way you would like. But if you want to solve it the way we've been practicing, you would draw your dollar bills. You would draw your coins in order from greatest to least value. And then you would start adding them up. And the question is asking, does she have enough to buy a stuffed animal? So your answer might be, yes, she has enough to buy a stuffed animal. She has, and then you tell me how much money she has. Or your answer might be, no, she does not have enough to buy the stuffed animal. And then you tell me how much money she does have. So that is how you solve it. And remember, everything gets solved in your math journal. So you turn to the first blank page, you write today's date, you title the lesson. The lesson is titled, let me turn it over. Problem solving with money. So that is what you would write at the top. And the problem that you are solving is this one. Betty has a $1 bill, 7 nickels, and 3 pennies. Does she have enough to buy a stuffed animal? Our teddy bear costs $1.65. So you will solve it, boys and girls, in your journal, and you will answer that question, and you will show me how you solve the problem. So writing yes, she has enough, or no, she does not have enough is not enough of a response. I want to know how you solved the problem. So once again, keep everything handy and keep everything organized so that when we do go over it, you are prepared. I hope you enjoyed today's math lesson, and there is more to come. Bye.